Sarah Grace's entire family doesn't want her released from jail right now, which is shocking because she has only been accused of this crime. Now, if you guys have been following this case for a little bit, and also if you've been following me, you probably know I normally don't cover active cases. Yes, this is a partially true crime channel. Yes, I cover a lot of female killers, but usually I wait for, at least part of the cases if there's multiple or some kind of decision to be made. I normally don't just dive in when somebody's been accused. However, if you are familiar with the Sarah Grace Patrick case, I think you'll understand exactly why we are following this along. Sarah Grace Patrick was a young girl in high school whose parents abruptly were murdered in their own home by a gunshot. She was very upset, posting online, speaking at their eulogy, even asking true crime creators to cover her parents' case. Well, nobody really turned an eye to Sarah except for the local police department, which ended up arresting her just weeks after the death of her parents. So this was very shocking to everybody. Could this young girl have possibly killed her parents? And what do the police have on her? And I think a lot of other people were like, okay, well, let's not point a finger. Let's just, collect the information and just follow the case. But with only one person in Sarah's corner, I have no idea what they know. Julie Grant, give it to us. We miss you, Vinny.
The parents, the mother and the stepfather of this defendant, Sarah Grace Patrick, who's in court this morning, asking to be let out on a bond before her upcoming homicide trial. Now, we're early in the proceedings. If you haven't followed this case, she was just arrested in July. The homicides happened in February. Don't know if she was overlooked as a suspect or not. We just know that she was not immediately arrested.
Because they didn't want to believe it. Nobody wants to believe that she was involved in any capacity. Nobody wants to believe that.
Was the one who placed the 911 call after her younger sister found her parents dead in their bed. It appears they were shot to death in their sleep. And investigators allege that this young lady was behind this and that she also went on social media to try to engineer the court of public opinion and gain sympathy. Let's go back into the courtroom now. Her defense team is offering witnesses to support her getting out on bond. They have brought in a friend of hers, a 16-year-old. Let's watch.
I find it interesting that the only person that supports Sarah Grace Patrick is like a friend from school that doesn't seem to know her super duper well. But it's also interesting because, like, guys, if you were in high school and you had to testify about a friend that you've known for a while possibly killing their pet, you wouldn't know what to do. You're not going to be like, oh, I saw the signs. And this is the only person supporting her.
Have you guys continued to be friends since then?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say friends, talk to me about what that looks like. Are you guys talking on the phone?
Via Snapchat sometimes. We would call, I'd check in on her. I was never allowed over at her house.
But she was allowed at your house?
Yes, ma'am, I'd go and get her.
I also just find it odd that she says we would sometimes call her to check in on her. Like, they know she's either not okay or they know the family dynamic is like strange.
You guys have kept in touch over the years, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when you guys keep in touch, what sort of things do you do?
Well, usually I'd go and get her, and then we'd go to the gas station and get something to eat. It's an hour 30 drive back home, so we'd blast music like teenagers would do, going home, and we'd go home, and I have a 2-year-old son, and we would play with him for hours until he fell asleep, and then we'd watch movies.
At any time have you, let me ask this, have you talked to Sarah since she's been incarcerated?
I have.
And what have those conversations been like?
Telling me she loves me. She's so thankful for me. She's excited to get to go on the jet skis again one day, have fun, be a teenager, and then we pray.
This girl, she want to believe the good in everybody. She want to believe the good in everybody because it brings her closer to God. Sorry, I know this type, but you know what? This is a good friend to have. It's a good friend to have.
Were you in contact with Sarah after the incident happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
And did you have any concerns about Sarah leaving or running or trying to get away in any way?
No.
Okay. Did she ask you to come pick her up and take her back to Alabama and hide her or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Damn, you know what I feel bad about? Now, remember, Sarah Grace Patrick, allegedly, okay, not even allegedly, she has just been picked up for possibly killing her mother and stepfather. Look, the case isn't closed, so it's very shaky what I can say there. But I will say, this girl is so nice. Like, I kind of like her. Like, I feel bad. Like, if she did this, why your friend do this? The audio on this video is not great. I'm hoping the next ones will have better audio, but we'll see. I can turn it up a little bit. Yeah. Do you guys see the freaking headline here? Supporters are wearing "I Stand with Sarah Patrick" t-shirts in court. Why y'all can't wait? Like, why y'all can't wait a little bit, you know? Like even us, we be watching this right now and like nobody is, well, I hope you guys are, you know, going about this the BOZE way, and we're not like, listen, she did it, lock her up, blah, blah. We're like, let's watch the trial. Let's see what everyone has to say. I'm going to side-eye this a little bit, but let's see what's going on. And then y'all just gonna be out here like, no, she didn't do it. She's a little kid. I'm like, dude, y'all need to watch Sinister. You need to watch Sinister. Okay, you know what's kind of funny about that? I was sitting here for a second thinking, who the is wearing an "I Stand with Sarah Patrick" shirt right now at this point in the case with the information that's out? How are you possibly doing that? I was like, who is that person? And we actually just listened to that person speak for a couple of minutes. It is the, I'm just gonna believe you're a good person because I like the world better that way. And look, you know what? I'm not even mad because I like that girl on the stand and everybody needs a friend like her. But let's see what the family has to say about Sarah not being released on bond. This is the sister of the stepdad that was murdered. So Sarah Grace Patrick's stepdad.
I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Since this tragic day, my brother Jamie and his wife Kristen were taken from us. I have become their voice as they no longer have one.
Oh, man.
I would like to share how this brutal tragedy has affected me. I not only lost my brother, but also my sister-in-law in the most horrific way imaginable.
Sorry, this is my true crime brain speaking. Once again, we do not know if Sarah Grace Patrick did or did do this. However, a lot of times in cases, when somebody kills somebody very, very close to them in the middle of the night in their own bed, the thought process behind it for the killer is usually extremely low empathy, and they come in with the mindset of, I just need you to do this for me. I just need you to die for me so that I can get X, Y, and Z. And I've explained this before, but when you see certain like monsters in human beings, you can't unsee it. And so if that were the case, the moments like before they actually passed would have been the most viscerally, it would be one of the most viscerally horrifying things that you could ever see. A child that you are taking care of with no empathy, no nothing in them, just looking at you like prey, like, I need you to die so that I can get attention. And I have turned my brain off so that I can get this. So I need you to do this for me. It's fucking terrifying. Once again, we do not know the exact scenario, but the brain is not only processing that physical pain, but that emotional pain of something that you have never seen before. And it's terrifying.
The defendant is charged with the brutal murders of my brother, Jamie, and my sister-in-law while they were lying in their bed.
Dude, the fact that she is not giving any ambiguity towards whether she did this or not is really shocking to me, because like obviously the family knows things like what was going on in the home, you know, what was Jamie telling his sister about Sarah, like different traits that like a child like her friend that was just testifying would not pick up on. But like, I guess that's why this case is so interesting to me, because the prosecution clearly knows something, police department clearly knows something, and the family clearly knows something. But as court cases go, the information unfolds very slowly.
My 5-year-old niece was then woke up to find their parents lifeless. The trauma this innocent child will carry for the rest of her life is unfathomable. And what makes this even more heartbreaking is that her sister loved the defendant. She looked up to her, and for reasons I will never understand, the defendant caused such imaginable pain. And I'm so thankful that Jaylee's life was spared. With all of this in mind, I am deeply concerned about Jaylee's safety should the defendant be released on bond.
Wow. Oh my God. They 100% think that Sarah Grace Patrick did this.
Jamie and Kristen had turned their lives around. They were actively involved in church, had found happiness, and were living a great life. They did not deserve what happened to them. I ask you, please.
You know, what also sucks about that is I know that Sarah Grace's mom and stepdad both used to have, I think, some drug addictions. I'm not sure if they knew each other when they were using or they overcame it and then got together, but they have a passive addiction. And what's really, really upsetting here, you guys know what's going to happen, right? Like when this fully goes to trial. Just think about it for a second. Let's put your true crime cap on because all this stuff is patterns, right? What's going to happen? The defense is going to paint them as unavailable parents that were neglectful or sinking back into abuse. They will try to find periods of time where maybe they went back to drug use or something like that. And they're going to try to paint Sarah Grace Patrick as like an abandoned and neglected child. And I think that's so shocking because if you are not hearing about this case now and you heard about it 6 months from now and you heard that this poor girl was, you know, living in this house of chaos and they were awful to her, blah, blah, blah. It changes everything, right? It's kind of interesting how which side you hear first kind of dictates things until you're ready to listen to every piece of it and like come to a full conclusion, you know? So I'm pretty sure that that's what we're going to hear in the trial. And I think that there will be some really shocking stuff because that is the defense's best possible way to keep her out of prison. Please Tie My Shoes said, frankly, I think that she was jealous of her little sister, killed her parents, and let her little sister find them as punishment. Listen, if you weren't aware, Sarah Grace Patrick's little sister was the biological child of Jamie and Kristen, whereas Sarah was Kristen's child. So there might have been, you know, who knows? But I have said before, if she follows the pattern that I think that she's following, as people that have low empathy and need a lot of attention, or they have like a hero victim complex, it is very possible that somebody with that profile might commit a complete act of destruction, chaos, for example, in this case, murder, the highest degree, and then set the other person up to be entrenched in that, like she had her sisters find the body, and then afterwards play hero and play victim with them to have this kind of sick bond that they are constantly in control of and only they know the truth of. There are people that will live decades and decades and decades with that high in their nervous system and never say what they did, you know? And they get to play hero for life to somebody that they hated and felt like they couldn't control. And yeah, it's very strange, but I'm just here to tell you the patterns I recognize. Wow.
The defendant has financial resources provided by the immediate family, which would enable her to flee. Her family maintains that she is innocent, and given her manipulative behavior, I believe she may attempt to flee.
Oh, wow.
Second concern is witness intimidation. The defendant has shown a pattern of intimidation towards family members and others with knowledge of the crime. I fear that if she's released, she will continue this behavior to silence anyone who could testify against her.
What?
My third concern is evidence. The brutality of these murders is not in dispute. My family and I have seen the death certificates, and although we are not aware of exactly how many shots were fired, we do know that there were multiple gunshots to both Jamie and Kristen. Personal safety. If the defendant can kill her own parents in such a violent manner, I fear for my own safety and the safety of my family and friends.
Yet she still goes on the stand to make this statement to expose Sarah and protect everyone. We have actually seen a couple cases before where killers will hide behind the I'm young, nobody's gonna look at me. I'm quiet, I'm pretty, I'm nice, nobody's gonna look at me because I'm young. And they have done heinous things. And it's quite scary and quite brave for this lady to speak out on behalf of the little sister and other family members. Somebody said in chat, this is enough for me. Lock her up. Yeah, Yes, bitch. See, this is why you really can't put me in the court system, in the criminal justice system. You got to keep me here behind the computer, because sometimes I be seeing shit like this. Opening statements haven't even started, and I'm like, that gut feeling. Lock her up. Lock her the f up. That would be me. But look, at least I'm real about it, okay? That's why I sit here and I watch the trial and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna shut up. You know? Like, I know some of y'all are like that too. I hope this one has better audio, but then this is a statement from the state that is trying to put Sarah Grace Patrick away.
All right.
Dude, not with the sideburns and all. You already got a cut jawline. Why you have to add the sideburns in? Just clip these off. This next video is actually the judge deciding not to grant her bond and explaining why. So after everything we just heard, he said, no. You need to stay in jail.
All right, while I consider this, I do want to say, Ms. Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
You've not been in front of me before, and Mr. Parrish, I believe this is one of your times performing in front of me as well.
Okay, all right, chat. Get it out about the judge. Get it out. Y'all notice how I was trying not to say anything after he busted out the accent, because I knew y'all were gonna be like, well, fucking howdy doody. All right, get it out. Get it out now, and then let's get back into the case, because if we are going through this one together, you're gonna be seeing a lot of the judge, so let's just get it out of the system, and then let's get back to this, all right? Y'all! Oh my God. Oh, okay. Clear it. Everybody focus. Let's focus. Thank you. Listen, we are a respectful true crime community. You can come to the stream at twitch.tv/BOZE versus the world. We are just here to see what's going on. Don't sit here and throw hardcore accusations in chat. You can only comment on the judge's appearance when we make allowances. And then after that, it's back to the case. La la la. La la la. Dude, not me stimming and then me performing the stim. La la la. God, I hate myself with a vengeance. All right. I gotta say also, guys, this pretrial period, it could be months, okay? You know, they can file stuff all day. It could be quick. It could be months. And I think what's terrifying for them is, like, if she really is this type of emotionally violent person, and that is a very real thing, okay? The things that, like, a sadistic person can do to you are, it's insane. She could be out for a long period of time. So this bond hearing is very important, because think about how safe they feel that she's actually in her jail cell for the months leading up to the actual trial.
If I weigh these witnesses' testimonies and I weigh what I hear today, I believe those closest, and I say closest, in family relationship, expressed that they had vast concerns that she would have the ability to flee, that she would be a danger to the community.
Oh my God.
That she would be a danger to them. That she would pose a significant risk of intimidating, or actually I think the state steered away from intimidating, or influencing or manipulating witnesses.
Oh, that head shake. Like, no, I wouldn't do that.
They met their burden today by preponderance of the evidence. Ms. Patrick, because of that, I'm bound by the law. I do not believe that you would be a proper candidate for bond at this time.
Oh, they celebrate. Oh, they celebrate!
Here's what I want to tell you.
Y'all hear the other family in the background? They said listen.
That you would be a proper candidate for bond at this time.
Yeah, somebody tried to clap and they said, shh.
Here's what I want to tell you. Very recently, the Judicial Council of Georgia recognized our court as being a clearance rate excellence award recipient, which means that we are very up to date on our cases, and we take great pride in moving cases quickly. I do not want
honey, that's gonna scare her. That is gonna scare her. We are in the motherfucking courtroom today because we about to sit back down. Opening statements are about to begin in the next trial. Chat, it's been a minute since we've been in the courtroom. I need a robe. I need a court robe.